I spoke with Ignar in the off season as well. Like, he told me that he's most likely gonna join FlyQuest, and obviously we had really good memories, like still from 2017, and we followed each other, and we both believe that uh, the other guy is like insanely good at their role and insanely strong as a player. So
Congratulations! Like that was a spectacular series. How are you feeling right now after beating TSM?
incredibly happy. I think all of us are really happy in the house right now. It was a really long series. It went to all 5 games, and obviously, like we are all really like just really grateful that we managed to pull it through in the game 5 and win it.
Because it was definitely a series where both teams went back and forth. FlyQuest had lost the game, and then they came back with the salty, salty
Soldier
comeback,
run back.
a salty run back, and then TSM actually really turned up on game 4. What is your overall impression of the momentum within the series?
I would say all of us believe that the game 1 should have been our win. Um, I think if we just played it slow, went for the Baron, and then took the other Dragon, I think we could have just closed it out. So we went for the salty run back, managed to win it more easily in the second game. The third game was, I think we slowly won it as well. I think it was somewhat close, but I felt like we were in control most of the game. So um, going into game 4, I felt like we had a pretty good chance of closing it out already. But I would say that they just played really, really good. They destroyed our top side with playing the Ignar lease and just playing it perfectly. They really snowballed in our Aatrox, and there was just like no coming back after like if you like after like 10 minutes, I felt like the game was already like kind of unplayable for the rest of the game, for the rest of the map. And obviously we tried our hardest to come back, didn't manage to do that. And then game 5, we had the advantage of going back to the blue side. Um, Obviously, it was a somewhat devastating loss game 4, but um, I feel like we are all like Valturtle, Ignar, me, I think Sandra, and we're all veterans. So even Solo, we're playing with Solo right now, so he's a veteran too. So we're not afraid of like going into game 5. I don't think any one of us was like sad or something. We were just like, I think we were believing that we are the better team and that we can easily take the game 5, and we did.
Speaking of drafts, I know I had a feeling at least watching that your Rakan, FlyQuest Rakan, Ignaz Rakan, was giving TSM a bit of headache. So do you think even having that Rakan and forcing TSM to maybe take it gave you guys a bit of an edge on the drafts? What do you think about TSM's overall drafts today?
Um, well, definitely Rakan is a power pick for us. We always prioritize that. Ignar is just really good on engaged supports, so I don't think we really necessarily need the Rakan itself, but we normally try to prioritize giving him like engaged support. We had in game 4 the Blitzcrank as example, and um, I think TSM drafts were okay. I don't think they were like bad in any case. I think normally they traded the Aphelios Nautilus for the Xayah Rakan. So if they felt like the Rakan was the one doing trouble for them, I think they should have banned it maybe after game 1 or game 2. They decided really late to take the Rakan themselves in game 4. So um, it's always really hard to tell on like uh, what was the draft like for TSM, since there goes like a lot of stuff into the drafting, right? There goes like champion pools, like what players want, like do they want to get their feeders Nautilus? Like are they believing Rakan is a problem or not? And it's really hard to tell, like but I would say like I feel like we were pretty happy about every draft we had.
And speaking of champion pools, you are also known for your champion pools. And today you played your signature Oriana. You were playing quite Azir quite heavily, and with your performance, you won the Player of the Series award. Can I get some I don't know, some self reflection on your own performance? Because I expect some really cool words to come from you.
Um well, I know I'm just really really happy that I can show up in these games, and that I got my like my second play of the series. Like I got one after GGS and I got one now, so I'm obviously really, really happy and really, really grateful. I think it wouldn't be possible without my teammates, like without like having a strong jungle and without having like a strong support and like just everyone playing around. I would say like me as a team and just like utilizing my strength. And I think I can really show up on this team, and I'm just really happy to pull out strong performances with Asia and Orina.
It's good to hear that you're very happy with your own performance and also having that strong bond with your teammates. Turning the time back a little bit, during the off season, FlyQuest created this roster, and as we all know, at that time, FlyQuest wasn't rated highly as it is performing right now, and they put out a new roster, bringing you and Ignar in, as well as keeping Wild Turtle. When you first came into FlyQuest, did you also know that this roster was going to be as successful as it is doing right now?
I definitely thought FlyQuest was going to be doing good. Two main reasons I would say. Where one was Santorin. Santorin wanted to play with me already like a year before, so I think mid lane jungle synergy is really important. That mid lane and jungle want to like play together and they want to improve together. So that was definitely like a big reason for me to join the team. And then I spoke with Ignar in the off season as well. Like he told me that he's most likely gonna join FlyQuest, and obviously we had really good memories, like still from 2017, and we followed each other, and we both believe that the other guy is like insanely good at their role and insanely strong as a player. So we spoke and we decided to join FlyQuest together.
And I know there is a lot of narrative about the 2017 Misfits synergy between you and Ignar, and we already know that you guys are individually really good players, but do you believe that you also carried on the synergy that you had back in Misfits gaming?
Yeah, I think it definitely helped us instantly from the start, since we kind of we know what the other guy wants to do without calling it sometimes. So, and there's just like this trust which you normally need to build, like which you normally need to build up. Was I felt like there from the start. So like if he would engage, I would instantly follow up. Like I would just fully trust. Like and I think we still have that synergy like nowadays. So that's really helpful.
Because Ignar said the same thing that you guys don't even need to talk. There is like this telepathic
Yeah,
link
we
going
just
on.
know what the other guy wants to do, and that's really helpful, obviously.
Not only as a player, but what kind of teammate is Ignar? Like as a person, just out of curiosity.
Ignar is, I think, a really funny guy. Um, he is definitely, I would say, like he always gets all of us to play like another game. He always wants to just play like just do stuff as a team and like somewhat like enjoy life. Yeah, in a sense, he doesn't want us to just like just cry in league all the time. Like he wants us to like I don't know, be happy and like bound together as a team more strong. So I think that's really helpful. And um, yeah, I know he's just a really funny guy.
And after
And
this, what's up?
yeah, he just came into my room and he's just laughing.
We're talking about you, Ignar.
Yeah, he secretly heard me, I think.
You can say hi if he wants to, but at the end of
He
this,
already ran away. He
okay,
already
you
ran
already
away.
ran away. At the endless days after the series, Jack was saying that it's almost a shock to see this FlyQuest going, the possibility of this FlyQuest going to the finals. And I think that's a testimony to both what people initially expected FlyQuest to perform in the beginning of the split and how well it is doing now. Is there almost like this sense of redemption, or hey, like everyone was saying this and we've proven them wrong?
It definitely feels good to prove everyone wrong. I think people obviously had us rated really like down on the bottom of the LCS, and I think just showing up as a team, like showing that we have strong performances as well, like individually. I think for me, I feel really happy like showing up, uh, showing as well that I can like play these assassins, like show up on like other picks like Rumble, and being able to pull off these champions is obviously really really nice.
And next you'll be facing Evil Geniuses to get to the grand finals of the LCS. And they had a very strong showing against Cloud9. Everyone was talking about their bot lane. Also another redemption story as they bounced back from relatively weak beginning of the split. Um, what are your thoughts on that matchup, and who is the one player that FlyQuest has to watch out for in Evil Genius's roster to take that best of 5 series?
Well, so against EG, I think it's gonna be like a close series again. They won against us every time we faced them, so we definitely need to like get our revenge. They are like somewhat becoming like a small rival, I would say. Like we all want to win against them, I think. And we fought all this way now to face EG, so if we can win against them, it would be insane. So we're gonna try our hardest. And look for this one player, I'll probably say I think it's Bang and Jizuka because they play really strongly for Bang. I feel like they always try to snowball Bang for like early game champions. So I think if we can control the early game and possibly like not let Jizuka snowball Bang, I think we're in a good spot.
Because I think there's definitely like a rivalry thing going on between FlyQuest and EG. You know how like the whole tree quest and then like
Yeah, the good
ha, ha,
versus the
ha,
evil.
the good versus the evil. Do you think we can also expect like a bit of a rivalry narrative between you and Suzuki, perhaps? Maybe?
I don't
Is
know.
it pushing it?
I don't think so. I think it's too far from that yet. I think maybe if they beat us more often and
Or you
like
win against them more often.
yeah,
Yeah,
like maybe like
yeah.
if we win, I feel like we would need to have a little bit more like more games against each other because he just joined LCS this year, so it's the first time I face him as a player. So I would say it still needs to take a while, but maybe soon.
All right. Best of luck on that series as well as the perhaps if you go even further, the one at the grand finals. One last question. So when I was talking to Ignar, he painted this visual imagery to me, like him wanting to repeat that Misfits miracle, you know, with you and also with other people on FlyQuest to go up on that big stage and hear that crowd cheer and rolling and make everyone in that venue a fan of yours, you know. And he said that you simply can't replace that kind of like excitement going to that big stage and having like a great series. And I know that like the world situation is really weird at the moment. We don't know whether we're gonna get live events
Yeah.
anytime soon. But what would it mean for you, looking at the bit distant into the future, to go to maybe like an international tournament or a huge stage with this FlyQuest roster?
I think I don't know. It would be like I would say like a dream come true. I think repeating a similar run with Misfits with Ignar would obviously like be crazy. Like I don't think many people would think about that. And obviously like I think Ignar and me we both really love like being on stage and just performing on stage and with all this big crowd in front of you. Sadly, it's not possible now, but maybe in the future, I think that would definitely be like a dream goal. It would definitely be a goal we will work hard for and we will try our hardest to get to.
Okay, again, congratulations and best of luck, and hopefully talk to you soon. Thank you so much.